Hello and welcome to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at the Battle of Tsaritsyn. We'll take a look at the historical context, the overview of the battle, some key figures and leadership, battle's phases and major engagements, the defensive strategies and tactics, the White Army offensive, Soviet internal conflicts, the outcomes and significance, the aftermath and legacy, key events and timeline, cultural and literary depictions, as well as the summary of consequences. First up, let's start with the historical context. Well, imagine it's the Russian Civil War from 1917 to 1923. The Battle of Tsaritsyn was a critical conflict during the Russian Civil War involving the Bolshevik Red Army and the anti-Bolshevik White forces. Tsaritsyn, later renamed Stalingrad and now Volgograd, was a vital industrial and transportation hub on the Volga River, crucial for controlling supply routes and the southern front. The battle occurred in the broader context of the chaotic aftermath of the October Revolution and the struggle for control of Russia's territories. The Russian Civil War is a book by Yves Maftsley that provides a comprehensive overview of the war, including the Battle of Tsaritsyn. He states, Tsaritsyn's strategic location on the Volga River made it a key objective for both Bolshevik and anti-Bolshevik forces, marking it as a pivotal battleground in the Civil War. Overview of the battle. First up, the time frame. The battle spanned from June 1918 to January 1920, encompassing multiple phases of fighting as control shifted between the Red and White forces. Combatants. Well, involved were the Red Army, led by key Bolshevik figures including Joseph Stalin and Voroshilov, and the White Army, commanded by generals like Pyotr Krasnov and Anton Denikin. Objectives. The Red Army aimed to defend Tsaritsyn as a strategic stronghold, while the White forces sought to capture it and to disrupt Bolshevik supply lines and gain a foothold in southern Russia. Next up, key figures and leadership. Joseph Stalin. He was sent to Tsaritsyn as a political commissar. Stalin played a significant role in organizing the defense, using harsh measures to ensure loyalty and effectiveness. Clement Voroshilov. He was a close ally of Stalin, and Voroshilov was instrumental in the military defense of the city, later becoming a prominent Soviet commander and politician. Anton Denikin. As the leader of the White Army, Denikin directed several offensives against Tsaritsyn, aiming to break Bolshevik control in the south. Stefan Kotkin looks at this in his book Stalin, Volume 1, Paradoxes of Power, 1878 to 1928. He examines Stalin's role and actions during the Battle of Tsaritsyn. A quote, Stalin's involvement in the defense of Tsaritsyn was marked by his ruthless determination and a pragmatic approach to maintaining control. Next up, battle phases and major engagements. The first phase, June through September 1918. Initial White offensives led by Krasnov aimed to seize the city but were repelled by determined Red Army defenses. Second phase, October 1918 to June 1919. The Whites under Denikin launched renewed assaults, leading to intense fighting and temporary encroachments into the city. Third phase, July 1919 until January 1920. The Red Army, reinforced and reorganized, launched counter-offensives that eventually expelled White forces and secured Tsaritsyn by early 1920. Next up, defensive strategies and tactics. Fortification. The Red Army fortified Tsaritsyn with trenches, bunkers, and artillery positions, creating a robust defense perimeter. The use of railways was also essential. The Bolsheviks leveraged the city's railway connections to transport troops and supplies efficiently, enhancing their logistical capabilities. But there was of course also, as almost always, psychological warfare. Stalin and Voroshilov used propaganda and strict discipline to maintain morale and loyalty among the defenders. The defense of Tsaritsyn was marked by a combination of strategic fortifications and rigorous internal discipline, reflecting the Bolsheviks' determination to hold the city, says Alexander Rabinovich in his book The Bolsheviks in Power, the First Year of Soviet Rule in Petrograd. Next up, White Army offensives. The White forces, particularly under Krasnov and later Demikin, employed cavalry units for rapid assaults and flanking maneuvers. They used artillery to soften Red Army defenses before launching infantry and cavalry attacks, aiming to breach the fortified positions. They also sought to coordinate with other anti-Bolshevik forces and foreign interventionist troops to strengthen their offensive capabilities. Soviet internal conflicts. Well, the defense of Tsaritsyn saw conflicts between military commanders and political commissars, particularly Stalin's clashes with Red Army leadership. Stalin's actions in Tsaritsyn strained relations with Leon Trotsky, the head of the Red Army, leading to later power struggles with the Bolshevik leadership. Stalin's presence led to purges of perceived disloyal elements within the Red forces, reflecting his early tendencies towards ruthless consolidation of power. Next up, outcome and significance. The eventual Red Army victory secured Tsaritsyn, maintaining control over a crucial strategic location and solidifying Bolshevik presence in southern Russia. The battle demonstrated the resilience and organization capabilities of the Red Army, contributing to their overall success in the Civil War. Stalin's role in the battle bolstered his reputation and influence within the Bolshevik Party, setting the stage for its later consolidation of power. The aftermath and legacy. Tsaritsyn was renamed Stalingrad in 1925 in honor of Stalin's role in the defense, reflecting his rising status in the Soviet Union. The defense of Tsaritsyn became a symbol of Soviet resilience and determination, later evoked during the famous Battle of Stalingrad in World War II. The battle remains a significant episode in Soviet history, illustrating the complexities and challenges of the early Bolshevik regime. Now, some key events and timeline. June 1918. White forces begin their offensive against Tsaritsyn, initiating the battle. September 1918. The Red Army successfully repels the initial White assault, stabilizing their defenses. October 1918 to June 1919. Renewed White offensives and intense fighting continue, with temporary gains by White forces. July 1919 to January 1920. The Red Army launches successful counteroffensives, regaining control and ultimately securing the city. Now, the cultural and literary depictions. Soviet propaganda. The battle was celebrated in Soviet propaganda as a heroic defense against counter-revolutionary forces, contributing to Stalin's mythos. Historical novels. Featured in historical novels and Soviet literature, often portraying the Red Army's determination and the leadership of figures such as Stalin. Film and art. It was depicted in Soviet films and art as a significant victory, reinforcing themes of resilience and strategic acumen. Last up, summary of consequences. First up, strengthening of Bolshevik control. The victory at Tsaritsyn helped consolidate Bolshevik control over southern Russia, securing a crucial supply line and industrial base. Stalin's ascendancy. Stalin's involvement enhanced his standing within the Communist Party, contributing to his rise to power and the eventual leadership of the Soviet Union. Foundation for future conflict. The tactics and experiences from the battle influenced Soviet military strategies in subsequent conflicts, including World War II. Thank you for listening. Bye.